citizens of the state. Thank you for watching the Daily Dose of Deception.
Greetings, citizens of Earth. My people have developed technologies which allow us to throw off our physical forms and travel great distances in the blink of an eye. We are in dialogue with your leaders to help the human race survive its infancy, for we believe in you. We are helping your scientists find cures for diseases which afflict your bodies, and helping you to preserve your planet's most precious resources. Many among us wage peace, and one day, with our help, war may be a thing of the past. Our army is 1 billion strong and growing.
To understand the future, we must first understand the past.
In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
The Earth is ruled through secret societies.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go
I'm
wild.
sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number
page.
322?
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code?
I wish there were something secret I could manifest.
322, secret number?
There are all kinds of secrets, Tim.
Condemnation without investigation is the height of all ignorance. The future is now. Understand what comes next.
Look, this whole war on terror is a fraud. It's a farce. It's very difficult to say it out loud because people are intimidated against saying it. Because if you say it, they want to make you into a nutcase. But the truth has to come out. That's why I'm doing this interview. The fact of the matter happens to be that the whole war on terror is a fraud. It's a farce. Yet there's a war going on in Iraq because we invaded Iraq.
Rockefeller Illuminati bloodline.
Eric, can you be specific about when you met Rockefeller, how it happened in these discussions?
I'd made a video called Mad as Hell, and he'd seen the video and wanted to meet me and knew I was running for governor of Nevada. So sure, I'd love to meet him. And I met him and I liked him, and he was a very, very smart man. He's the one who told me 11 months before 9/11 ever happened that there was going to be an event. Never told me what the event was going to be. But there was going to be an event, and out of that event, we were going to invade Afghanistan, and there's going to be this war on terror, which is no real enemy, and the whole thing is a giant hoax, you know, but it's a way for the government to take over the American people.
He told you it was going to be a hoax.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's no question. Look, this whole war on terror is a fraud. It's a farce. It's very difficult to say it out loud because people are intimidated against saying it. Because if you say it, they want to make you into a nutcase. But the truth has to come out. That's why I'm doing this interview. The fact of the matter happens to be that the whole war on terror is a fraud. It's a farce. I learned an awful lot from Mr. Rockefeller. And one of the things that we used to talk about was the ultimate plan of the banking industry, what they wanted to accomplish. So the ultimate goal that these people have in mind is the goal to create a one world government run by the banking industry, run by the bankers, and they're doing it in sections. The European currency, the euro, and the European Constitution is one part of it. Now they're trying to do it in America with the North American Union, right? And they want to create a new currency called the Amero, right? And the whole agenda is to create a one world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is giving me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish.
They hold a global monopoly on the economy. 1% of the population control 99% of the global finances. They let people die from starvation and curable disease. Many choose to dismiss this theory before investigation. A small number of families print our money and control our economy. For now, I shall refer to them as the global elite. Life is a monopoly board and we can't beat the cheaters. So, what is the next stage of implementing a new world order?
I find it interesting that the release follows hot on the heels of the statement by the Vatican just yesterday, I think it was, stating that they felt it was okay to believe in aliens and UFOs and life elsewhere in our galaxy. This is an interesting 1-2 punch.
Over the next few years, the American government will finally disclose information of contact with alien life forms. The reason for waiting so long to disclose information on extraterrestrial life is because the global elite are responsible for the various sightings and abductions. They have been preparing us for the next stage of the New World Order. The Disclosure Project has been set up by the global elite. Their intention is to once again manipulate us into believing their lies.
Members of the press, the American public, and people of the world. We are here today to disclose the truth about a subject that has been ridiculed and questioned, denied for at least 50 years.
That the earth is at a time of tremendous promise. And the people on the earth today are here to give birth to an entirely new civilization on this planet.
The Disclosure Project was set up to mislead and manipulate the public.
My name is Dr. Stephen Greer, and I'm going to share with you as much as I can in the next hour exactly what I have tried to share with the President of the United States in the briefing that I have just recently put together for the new administration. Are you ready for the truth? All right. Because we are at the time in history where one big cycle is closing and another cycle is opening, the duration of which will be 5,000 centuries on Earth, of unbroken peace, of universal peace. And at the end of that cycle, we, our descendants, will be extraterrestrial visitors to other worlds, helping those planets. By 1993, we had had contact with extraterrestrial civilizations in expeditions that we had taken to Belgium and Mexico and England and the United States and all over. And there was no doubt in our mind that they were ready to answer our call because we were going without prejudice, without fear, in the spirit of universal consciousness and universal peace. The problem, I found, was that in the corridors of power, as Senator Inouye was saying, there is a vast and powerful secret shadowy government that has withheld from the people of the world this information, and in doing so have completely taken our planet off the course it should be on. And so it is time now for a course correction. It should have happened 100 years ago, 50 at the latest. But here we are in 2009. And guess what? We're going to do it. You and I together in Spain and around the world are going to do it together. For it is absolutely true that if the people will lead, the leaders will follow, because they will have to. We can no longer be passive in the face of these enormous challenges. If we are passive, we are enabling the controllers. And therefore we must rise up, not in violence, but in peace, but with one voice, without fear, and we will say enough of the secrecy, enough of oil, enough of the petrodollar, enough of economic slavery, enough of the wars. It is time for a new civilization, and we will see that it will be born in our lifetime in the coming months and years.
Now, I have since come to believe that the extraterrestrial portion of all of this is nonsense, but that the technology is real. What I discovered was amazing. What I discovered, ladies and gentlemen, is that there has been a plan in existence since about 1917, and probably before that, to create an artificial extraterrestrial threat to this Earth in order to create a one-world totalitarian socialist government.
And then, of course, there are plans to create a mock alien invasion. I have talked briefly on the radio for Prophecy Club about the flying saucers. Somebody very high up in the New World Order who was brought to Christ by a close friend of mine has talked about piloting the flying saucers. Yes, the United States government has flying saucers.
Mexican Air Force pilots capturing on videotape what are said to be 11, count them, 11 UFOs. First time UFOs have had the backing of any country's armed forces.
And governments have always kept this secret, the United States included. Why now, do you think, Bob?
The motive, the reason could be anything, to be honest. Why now? I really don't know.
Peter, why has this been in the United States and prior to this in Great Britain some dark secret? Why won't the United States release anything it knows?
After their success of 9/11, the next stage of the agenda is to convince the human race into thinking our planet is under attack. Without a religion of the New Age, the success of the New World Order would be difficult. So how would they implement a one-world religion? A unique savior will demonstrate that religious teachings have been misinterpreted and misused. Some of life's mysteries are surely soon to be revealed. By disclosing some of life's biggest mysteries, they will demonstrate current religions to be primitive and not entirely accurate. The foundations of all traditional religions will be broken down, and may be destroyed. Ancient Egyptians and the Mayan civilization had very accurate knowledge of space, such as how many planets we have in our solar system. It's only through the invention of the telescope we have been able to prove them right, and finally catch up with their ancient and advanced knowledge. So, how did some of the earliest civilizations have such advanced solar system knowledge? Is genetic engineering a modern-day discovery, or are humans in fact the product of genetic engineering, placed here on Earth and left with basic knowledge to ensure our existence? Encompassing all beliefs including atheism and evolution into a New Age belief will be a violent and bloody war path. The global elite's foreseen end result will be a universal understanding of life. Uniting the human race with one religion, one government and one currency. Diversity would be wiped out, leaving the remaining population true slaves of the system. So how would the global elite implement this New Age religion? Project Blue Beam suggests the most likely, four-stage, theory. Stage 1, breaking down current archaeological knowledge, by making and faking new discoveries that will explain and prove errors of previous scientific and religious beliefs. Stage 2, involves a gigantic space show with the use of three-dimensional projections known as holograms, beamed all over the planet. This is called holograph technology. Evidence of this is shown in the various manifestations of UFO sightings all around the world. Many UFO sightings and abductions, which have become more frequent, are not hoaxes or exaggerations but merely government tests and preparations for the global, alien invasion show. Stage 3, involves deep psychological destabilization of the population. It can be done with fear tactics and transmitting extremely low-frequency radio waves that will alter and weaken our mind state. Stage 4, involves leading humanity into believing an alien invasion of all major cities is imminent, causing chaos to break out, again, exhausting us with fear until we are desperate to accept a new world order. It does sound like a very extreme theory, but sadly, this is the twisted reality of the global elite. So will you fight out against the New World Order? Remember that the sheeps of society will eventually be led to the slaughterhouse. Please subscribe to the Daily Dose of Deception.